Hi, I am really glad, if I haven't said it before, you haven't heard me say it before, but I'm really glad that you're taking some time to work with meditation. One of the things I really want you to know is that meditation is never one size fits all. And so, the best way to allow meditation to become a habit is to find what works for you, what works best, and to know that there's room for that to shift and evolve depending on the day or depending on how your meditation practice works with your phases of life, the seasons. So, one of the things that really is nice to play with is something that we refer to as an anchor. And if you think about what that means, it's something that keeps you in a fixed place that can feel strong and reliable. And in meditation, oftentimes you'll hear meditations, and the anchor is your breath. So the guide or the teacher might not call it an anchor, but they'll say, take a breath in, take a breath out, and focus your attention on your breath. Now, breath is great, and it's something that you can really harness and play with, and it can be really powerful. And we'll work with some of those tools, those specific breath tools in this meditation challenge. But it doesn't always work for your anchor. So if there's a day where your breath feels shallow, or maybe you just can't connect with the sensation of it. So for breath, you can feel how it moves through you. Some people can feel it through their nose, other people feel it in their lungs. So that's just one anchor, and you can play with that one. But let's say it's something that distracts you or feels like you can't really get a good handle on it for whatever reason. Another anchor is physical sensation, and that might be sitting and knowing that you're sitting. That's something that a meditation teacher named Joseph Goldstein says a lot as he opens his meditations. Sit and know that you're sitting. For some people, that makes sense. You can feel it, you can feel the posture, the support. Sometimes I'll say, feel the support that's underneath you, whether you're sitting or laying down. So that is another one. You can feel the sensation in your hands. You can see if you can bring your attention to any sensation you might feel in your feet. Physical sensation is a nice one because, again, it can hold your attention. And most of the time in our day, we don't really think about those physical sensations, feeling that you're sitting, feeling what's happening in your hands. Is there a temperature? Can you feel the movement? Those can be really accessible to take your attention and draw it right into the present moment. The beauty of breath and physical sensation is there are things that evolve with the present moment. So they have a way of marking the fact that you're here now, which meditation tries to get us to pay attention to. Another really good anchor is sound, ambient sound. And we tie a lot of attention and awareness and meaning to the sounds that we hear. So whether it's people downstairs, something outside, kind of those sounds that you might not normally hear. Right now, in the quiet of this room, I can hear my cat breathing, which is something that I wouldn't normally notice if there was a lot going on or I was doing something else. So, in any case, sound is another thing that you can bring your attention to, and it changes along with the moment. So, it might even be background noise that can feel really nice and comforting. I was meditating today, and the sound of my phone vibrating was a really interesting thing to watch or feel because it often alerts me to do something or to check something. And so it was a nice way to let the sound be there and notice my reaction without having to immediately react. So that's what we're trying to do, is give you some space to notice what goes on, to feel what happens when you fix your attention in the moment, and to give you some room to just play with what happens in those moments of paying attention. Now, when you lose your attention, it's not a bad thing. It's actually really good. It gives you the room to notice that your attention has wandered. So many times we're doing something and our attention wanders and we just follow it, kind of like a monkey jumping from branch to branch, right? We don't really realize that things have shifted. We keep just going with where our attention goes. In meditation, you'll notice your attention, but you don't have to follow it. You notice it and you bring it back. When you're doing physical exercise, it can be when you're doing strength training, it can be a repetition. So that very exercise of your mind getting called to something else and coming back is the repetition, like a bicep curl, of meditation. And it's changing the gray matter in your brain so that you get better and better at paying attention, keeping your focus on whatever it is that is really absorbing your attention, and being there in the moment, fully present through practice. So I hope that makes sense. It might feel like a lot, but the hope is that there's room to customize what you pay attention to and how it feels, and to remember that the shifting of attention is not bad. It's not the sign of a failure, it's the sign of an active brain. And you let your brain be active, which is fantastic, but you are the one who's doing the repetition and taking the reins of your brain so that you get better and better at being present and focused with the things that really need all of your attention. So if you have questions, let me know. I'll do a little webinar on this very thing of how it feels to do those repetitions in meditation, and have fun practicing. Let it be good. You can't get it wrong. All right. So thanks again for practicing. We all thank you. The people that you love, thank you, because the hope is that you become more grounded, more centered, and more able to appreciate the beauty that's right in front of you, that as is this life. All right.